I got my guy Ed Nunez in here from the Pit Press. Ed's coming in every Tuesdays and Thursdays to kick it with your boy. Obviously, Ed is a book of knowledge, and he's a walking sports encyclopedia or Wikipedia or whatever you want to call that thing. But he's always doing his thing. Thanks for coming in, bud.
Hey, man. Kenny, it's I think when I wake up on Monday or Tuesday night, we're going to be, in studio. I'm always thinking of ideas, and I just run them by you because, it's your rundown, and you've got your topics you want to talk about, and it's always fun to bounce off each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because one topic might lead to another, and I think we have a lot of fun.
Which it always does with you. Because we could start just talking about something, and then, hey, we could veer off a little bit, but that's the whole scope of how I like how unfiltered is just kind of all over the place. And April, I'm going to be bringing in some more celebrities. I've already brought in Steve Francis. I brought in Meta World Peace. I brought in the Tapia boys, Johnny Tapia's kids, and I'm looking at bringing in some more people on top of having Ed Nunez and probably another host of mine at some point, and on top of my guy Zach at Capital Ford. The things that Zach at Capital Ford is doing for this community has been amazing. After every men and women basketball game, you get a free oil change and tire rotation valued at $189. If you're one of the first two callers to call into my show after they win the game. And at the same time, at 10, 15, 20, 25 wins, a set of tires valued at $2,000 for the first two callers that call in when the Lobos get to those numbers, which is the even numbers. And last but not least, the bowl game win gets a set of free tires up to $2,000 if the Lobo football team, which they're going to, not if, when the Lobo team gets to their first bowl at large, that's coming up here pretty soon, especially with them being able to beat San Diego. San Diego State's the team that's number one right now in the division. And there's about 3 ties, and the Lobos are right there in that tie. It's going to be interesting how that unfolds, right, Ed? What do you think about that, Shake?
The press conference today with Coach Eck, and a lot of questions and a lot of scenarios. Boise State playing Utah State at 2 p.m. Right after the Lobos kickoff against San Diego State at 1:30, and so many scenarios. And I got to ask, a lot of questions of Coach Eck about San Diego State, about possibilities of playing for a championship, which UNF football team has not done in a very long time, for a Mountain West Conference championship. I think the last time they won one was in '64, a Skyline championship.
Okay.
So that's been many, many years. So there's a lot of excitement. He's asking for hopefully it's going to be 60 degrees on Friday. He wants a big crowd out there. My wife and my son, the whole family, we're going out. Sometimes I sit in the press box, but you're constricted by the way you can act in the press box. You can't cheer or anything.
What?
And you can't. You got to sit like this.
That's about right.
No, so I swear, because if you cheer Frank Macagliano's on the run, man, and he's right. You got to be
That's
neutral.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. I think there's some, for me, Kenny, a little bit of nervousness because you want Coach Eck to stay here 10 more years.
We already, but I get it. We're supposed to talk about that, but I try not to even think about it to a certain extent, because it's like you have to be in the moment, right? How do you get to? We always want to see on the other side of the bridge, right? Let's just keep it real. There's a process to everything, and being 48 now, I've had to learn that process takes time. And me being on the air right now, it's a process. I'm trying to get to the point one day to where I'm more like you, more fluent with certain things, because you've been doing it for so long, right? Not that you didn't play basketball, but this is one of the things that you've taken a passion in after being able to play.
You know what? Not only that, and Kenny, I appreciate that. I played, I coached, I officiated, now I broadcast. And so, there hasn't been much, but there's still things about the game that I learned from you, people that my son, nobody breaks the game down like that little kid does. I shouldn't call him a kid. He's a man now. But that guy looks at the game, and I'm like, okay, I know the game too, but I'm like, where did he think that? But he was a coach at St. Pius, had a 52-6 record. So I think all those things that you just, what Van Tate has it on his sports report, on the other side. We're always looking to see what's on the other side.
Yeah.
And we don't know. I'm only nervous because Greg Archuleta, who writes for us at the Pit Press, said this today. If he leaves, this is if, hopefully he stays. it's hard to keep hitting home runs by getting. That's a great hire.
Ooh.
That's the best hire we've had here in how long?
Oh yeah.
Maybe since
People thought Bronco was the greatest hire.
and he was solid 5-7, right? But he left. He left. If
is that solid 5-7?
Better than they had done, on the verge of a bowl game.
That sounds a lot better. Thank you.
Lost to Hawaii last year. But as it turned out, this guy is everything you want in a coach. Personable. He schemes. He plans. Some of the games they've won have been on special teams. Defense. All things coming together, and it's a result of his coaching. He's got a great defensive coordinator, great offensive coordinator. He's done things here as a football coach that I've been a fan since 1970. I haven't seen in many, many years. I can't even compare him. Rocky Long was that guy.
Yeah.
Rocky Long brought 40,000, 38,000, actually 45,000 against the Aggies. I was there that night. So, but Rocky, I don't know if Rocky had that personality like Eck does.
Yeah.
High five and hip checking people. When you see him, the guy did a lowrider commercial, man.
Yeah.
That endears him to New Mexico, man. People are like, that dude got in a lowrider?
Yes, especially those Northerners.
Hey, Gary Johnson, the former governor.
Dude.
He called him, I love Gary Johnson, but he didn't even know what they were. He called them sunken cars.
Yeah.
And so when Eck is riding in a lowrider, you're like, hey, man, that guy's embraced. He loves us. He's one of us.
See, now, when you have an offense in Air Force that was almost getting like 270 yards rushing, right? They come out, the Lobos come out and hold them to 161 yards total and 2.3 yards per rush. That is coming out and being determined, because I had Coach Eck's son, Jackson Eck, on the show, and I asked him point blank, as far as them being able to run the ball. He came out and he said that they were going to contain them to a certain extent and try and limit them, and they came out and limit them to almost 100 yards, 110 yards difference, opposed to what Air Force was coming out and doing. It was a whole different element, which is what I like.
What they did is they got up the field. You saw the rush getting in the backfield, the pitch, the dive. You have to three things you have to contain on that triple option. And I thought they did a tremendous job in setting the edge in the first half. Keeson James Newby, he had a tremendous game. Jackson Eck had a tremendous game. Air Force came out and made some drives in the second half, but New Mexico limited them, and they took advantage of short fields to take a big halftime lead. They had won there since at Falcon Field since 2005. 95?
1995,
okay.
25 years.
Many years.
25 years.
Yeah.
The year I graduated from Albuquerque High.
Won a state championship against Alamogordo that year, man. 18,000 in the pit.
18,000.
Was it still 18,000? It was, because the mezzanine was there.
It was 18.
You don't remember, young fella, because yeah.
We got Manny, our IT guy, in here working and doing all his stuff with the wires and stuff. My man, look, don't frown, man. That's my guy, man. Everybody up here takes care of me. I appreciate you, Manny. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. Kicking it with my guy, Ed Nunez. If you want to text or call, we're about to jump into the Lobo men's basketball team. Coming off a win against Mississippi State in the Hall of Fame Classic. Jake Hall played pretty good in the first game against Nebraska. We had our guy, Bouillon, with 19 points, 21 rebounds. The team's now 4-2. They play tomorrow against a team in Alabama State that's playing some pretty good basketball right now. They got some guys. We're going to get into that. But, Ed, against Mississippi State, being able to see this Lobo team come out and play with the grit that they did a little bit longer than they have been as of yet, when it comes to them being able to come out and try and string a longer game rather than a half of a game, because it seems like to me they've only been able to put together a half of a game. But it seemed like it was a little different with Mississippi State. They came out with a little bit more energy, a little bit more passion, to where there was obviously there's going to be some dead periods and moments throughout the course of the game. But the way that they got Bouillon involved and they figured out how to consistently go to certain things like him and create a presence inside, I feel like they're a squad that can actually continue to get better, and I see a lot of growth. What do you think, bro?
When you win a game like that, and I was thinking about you a lot. I watched the replay when I came back from Silver City, And you love big men play. You love to see that post touches, paint touches, and Bullion. I think the thing about rebounding, you anticipate each shot is missed, and he had great position on a lot of those offensive rebounds and was able to score easily and get fouled. Physical presence inside, and we've been looking for that. So I thought they attacked from the paint a lot better. I thought Uriah Tenet played a very good game.
Yeah,
Dayton Albury, a lot of people were saying, hey, he should be suspended for this game, but I got to say that Olin handled that, I think, pretty well. Albury apologized to the program. He apologized to the coach. He apologized to the guy from Nebraska that he hit. And, I thought his drives to the basket were important. Those points were very important. He was going to go right at you. He's going to go right into your body. That negates your height advantage to block it. And he draws fouls.
Yeah.
So I thought he played a pretty good game. The guy that drove me a little bit crazy again was Chol. First half, he's got 12. You and I both said this last week. They need 12 to 15 from him. He got 12 in the first half. He didn't score again after that. So they need more from him. And I think he's still, there's shots that he's getting in the paint. Those, he's got to make those. He's got ability.
Yeah.
So I think, but again,
long.
I think it was a good bounce back win after kind of, everybody's kind of upset the way they lost against Nebraska. You mentioned they showed a lot more effort and grit, and that's always good around here.
Yo, if you're listening right now and you got an opinion on like who's that guy that you think that should step up in the right moments, do you think it's Antonio Chol? Do you think it's Chris Howe? Because there's not a lot of people that's big on Chris. I actually like Chris. And after what Bouillon just did, if you think it's like Bouillon, you could call or text 505-246-0610. I just feel like Jake Hall is a guy. He had 20 points against Nebraska, right? He had 6 points. He was 2 for 6, I think, and he was 2 for 6 from 3, right? The majority of their shots are 3-pointers. I'm starting to feel like there's a sense of urgency because they're starting to figure out we need to get inside and capitalize on that. And when Bouillon called into my show over on KKOB after the game, I asked him, did I ask him or did I make a comment? I just want him to stay consistent and stay aggressive and figure out, even if you're not getting the ball, you got to go figure out how to get it off the glass. And he had 21 rebounds.
He figured it out. We mentioned, we talked about rebounders the other day when we were talking about NBA players you had played against, Dennis Rodman, Karl Malone. Rebounding is a lot of effort yourself. You knew where the ball was coming off. If the ball is shot on certain places, you play angles.
Yeah. I
thought, here's the sequence for you here, Kenny. Mississippi State misses a dunk. It's a two-man game, and they miss the dunk. New Mexico goes down, and Buljan, who's not a great three-point shooter, hits a 3.
Yeah.
That was huge. 5-point swing. 2 points that they should have had, and 3 that we get. Because when he shoots a 3, most of the ones we've seen him shoot are not even close.
Yeah.
And he nailed it.
Yeah.
And that was it. And Hubbard was a big problem for the Lobos all game for Mississippi State. They really had a hard time defending him. But New Mexico made the free throws at the end. I thought Uriah Tenet stepping up to the line. He's a freshman. We got to remember, Jake Hall's a freshman. Buljan, he's 22, but he's a freshman. So we have to remember a lot of these players are very young, and they're still learning these game experiences and getting better.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Even though Herbert went 11 for 25, he was their guy, and he still had 20-something points, and he was 6 for 13. But the way that I like what I saw when the Lobos defense was jumping him and jumping Jones, which was their other guard, that was making them get the ball out of their hands to where they weren't able to come off to where they're able to attack. I like the fact that how Coach Olin mixed it up a little bit better on the defensive side. And I feel like it seems like they're starting to recognize on the offensive side to a certain extent as far as capitalizing on mid-range shots, because I feel like those games a lot of games are going to be won and lost depending on how good this Lobo team recognizes the mid-range shot, because you're not always going to get into the paint and shoot a layup. This is where I have a problem with Uriah Tenet trying to get all the way to the bucket. But we got to keep in mind, he's only a freshman. There's a lot of different learning curves that needs to be learned, and those things are just going to have to happen, and then they're just going to come naturally, don't you think?
Over penetration, you mentioned that by Tenet. One of my guy, Eric Moulton, mentioned that. on the pit press on our group text. He did do that. But you mentioned young. He's going to learn, right? And you venture into the land of the giants and you overpenetrate. Sometimes they're going to kick your, out of there. And you'll learn.
Yeah.
You'll learn. But he's at least showing the heart to try to get in the paint. He's athletic, right? And dish off, and that's what they want to try to do. He's another guy that I think has mid-range shots sometimes in the paint and pulls the string. Hey, follow through on your shot a little bit. He's right there. Those are shots he has to make.
It's so interesting how, if you're listening also, I think this is a good point because a lot of people bring this up to me on the call-in show. How come JT Rock isn't getting an opportunity to post? How come I see him working hard, but when you see it, and if you know basketball, those guards are not feeling comfortable throwing the ball into him. How do you know what you got if you don't give the kid a chance? And if you want to chime in or text, you can call 505-246-0610.
To your point, okay, when you posted up a lot, man, see your numbers give you the ball. Hey, man, right? Feed.
I think he's been doing that a little bit.
I saw that. The other night I said to myself,
last game.
See the numbers. He's posted his man up.
Yeah.
And then he went away from him. I think it was Luke Hopper went away from him.
Yeah.
But I did see some positive things from him. I did. He went to the whole hard cut on a basket cut to the basket, layup, put it up. I'm seeing some things from him every game that I think he's improving a little bit.
Yeah.
But my thing is
30 seconds.
You do this as much. You're posted up. They see the numbers. You would say that. Give me the ball, man.
Oh, I would have cussed somebody
right.
out.
I've got my man pinned. Give me the ball.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully they start looking for him.
I want to continue this because I just got a text as well because I want to still talk about JT Rock because of what I think and what I see. And then I also want to get into some more Lobo stuff. We'll be right back. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. Yo, Ed, I think this is the same individual here in Albuquerque, somebody you probably know because he throws your name in there at the end. The game was won at the foul line 19-25 to 7 for 13. Obviously, the Lobos shot 25 free throws and made 19 and rebounds 46-36, which is nice that the fact that the Lobos are able to out-rebound Mississippi State. And last more steals and blocks, which will lead to easier transition buckets. Overall, good team win, though. Ed said it best. They're learning and growing as a team. I totally agree that they are. It's just, if you're hearing what the people that are calling in over on Lobos Live, they're impatient. They're impatient, and they don't know what they're getting with this team. And I feel like with everything that's new, they're evolving, right? Like we were talking about JT Rock. People really think that he should be getting an opportunity. But when he does get the opportunity, I feel like when you don't get it as much as you think you should, there's a lot of pressure for when you do get it rather than being relaxed. The fact that they're not throwing the ball into him, I'm just going to be honest. When with the way it looks like guards, they're not that comfortable. And then the guards have a tendency to pound the ball a little bit more to where they can't find him in the right moment. So what do you do if you're JT? Go get it off the boards. Go get it off the offensive boards. Go create opportunities for yourself. That's what I had to do in the NBA. I'm not comparing college basketball to the NBA, but what I am comparing it to, I had to figure it out.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good point because when I saw him in practice to start the season,
JT.
I looked at him and I thought, okay, he doesn't play on his toes, on his feet. He's not aware, inside the paint. I saw that right away. There was a drill. He went up for a shot and got stripped. And assistant coach Mike Roberts went nuts. Hey, we talked about balance. He said, you got to be strong. And I thought about that. Square up to the basket, right? At that size there, all the fundamentals, the Mikan drills that, you do around the basket. I still think he's learning remember, he didn't play a lot last year at Iowa. He didn't. And people.
Oh, okay.
So 7-1, they say Ray Rodriguez, a very good friend of mine, coached at Highland and coached at Cibola, a very good friend. He would say, hey, look, it doesn't do us any good to be big unless we play big. And you play big. You played to your size, and they had to deal with you. You drew fouls, you threw it back out. You had that nasty drop step, that created space, and you knew how to score around the rim. Remember, this young man is just learning.
Yeah.
I still saw some good things, cutting to the basket, nice little jump hook. That to me is like, okay, that's progress. I can live with that.
Oh yeah.
When we go to the film, we'll say, hey man,
Yep.
right? Coach Olin's. Somebody said this online the other day. Hey, we need Coach Olin to yell a little more. That's not his style, man.
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he's not going to do it anyway. Coach Bliss was a yeller. Coach Aft,
he was a hitter.
Yeah, Coach Bliss. Yeah. Oh, they said one time in practice before you came that Luke Longley went in and laid it up, and they blocked it, and Bliss went nuts. Like, blankety blank. I told you to blankety dunk that ball.
Oh, yeah.
Went nuts.
Oh, yeah.
So, Coach Olin is a laid-back guy. He's not going to be the screamer or yeller. That's not his style. But Mike Roberts will. Mike Roberts, the assistant coach, I saw him in practice.
Dog, yeah.
That dude is man.
Yeah.
So I think it's from someone that knows the post game the way. And remember, when we talked about Karl Malone and Charles Barkley and Akeem, those are dudes you ran with, man. You ran on the same court that those dudes. And those guys, to me, Karl Malone was like, oh my goodness, the way that guy ran at his size at 6'10".
I used to lick, but he ran like a deer.
Oh my gosh!
Let me tell you why. Because he was always working. He trained in Colorado,
in the mountains, right?
This is why I love to train here in New Mexico, especially before the season started. Because when I went during the season, it was like effortless to a certain extent because of the elevation and running and training here. But being able to be on the floor with those guys, man, that it doesn't seem real sometimes, to be honest. But there's one person I want to talk about because he was supposed to be a focal point of this squad right now. What have you heard about Kevin Patton? Right? Like what is it one of those things to where he hasn't gotten an opportunity, obviously? Or have you heard anything as far as like what's going on there? Because he was supposed to be a starter focal point, but he's not anywhere in the rotation. And obviously you got Miller. Is that his name?
Tajaven
yes,
Miller.
that's playing some pretty good ball. Is that where his minutes are going?
A couple of weeks ago when they beat Riverside, UT Riverside, they beat Riverside in the pit. Patton had a dunk that was the play of the night as far as dunks, and Riverside got tired, and New Mexico scored at will. And when I saw that dunk, I'm like, okay. They talked about his athleticism. They said he's very athletic. He did play a little bit against Mississippi State, but a lot of his minutes have gone to Miller. I think this is another player that I think you're going to see develop a little bit more. They gave more minutes against Mississippi State, and I think Coach Olin is they're figuring out the rotations. One thing that JJ Buck says it all the time about Lobo fans. They're some of the most impatient people. They really are. And it drives me nuts. It's like, okay, I get it. Coach Pitino won 20 games 3 years in a row. New Mexico fans expect a seamless handoff, like we're going to keep running, and there's going to be no pockmarks in the road.
Totally agree.
And there always is.
Yep.
And like just give this guy a chance, man.
Process, man.
Right. And you know
process.
You played for the legendary Jim Holzman at Albuquerque High, won a state championship. You played here for Dave.
And I didn't like his process. I didn't like his process either.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, because when I came, it's not a matter of me not listening. It's a matter of me having some peach fuzz and wanted to do what I wanted. But when Coach Holzman, like when I look back on it, and I still talk to him to this day, I got to get him on the show. To where, hey, he taught me something back then. He taught me discipline. He taught me structure. Dave Bliss, he used to take he used to have some of the meatiest, thickest hands ever, bro. If you ever shook his hands, they were like some thick hands.
30 seconds.
And Dave Bliss, he's coming on the show, just to let you know. He's coming. And he wants David Gibson to come on with him. So when I have that on, I'll totally let you know. But the meaty, he used to hit me on the inside of my leg when he get mad at me, man. Oh, yeah. That lit me up. Clayton Shields used to get on me. That lit me up. All those things helped me get to the place I am now. That's why I'm competitive at everything I do. Like, I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to be good at everything that I do. I'm passionate about everything that I do. Because if I don't do it, if I'm not passionate about it, what's the point in wasting my time at this point in my life?
When you're out there in the NBA and competing against the guys that we mentioned, if you're not competitive, they will kick your you-know-what all over the place.
And that's the edge. I think that's where that came from.
Right.
And it's still one of those things. Doing it for 11 years, I think it's just still ingrained, and I don't know anything else. Like you said that perfectly.
It won't go away either, ever, never.
Wow. Wow. This
Yeah.
feels pretty amazing. We're about to take this quick break. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas and my boy Ed Nunez on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. Your home for the NFL, which is brought to you by Hyenas Comedy Nightclub, which is now open in Albuquerque, featuring some amazing comics. Get your tickets before they sell out. Located at Windrock Town Center, visit hyenascomedynightclub.com/Albuquerque for more information. Got to go check them out over there. Thank you, Hyenas, for supporting the sports animal. And the NFL over here. Hey, we got to get into. Hey, I got a question for you, Ed.
Yeah.
Shador Sanders finally got an opportunity. Zach at Capital Ford, my guy, wasn't very high on his game performance. He was 11 for 20, 209 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. I mean, it's one of those things to where he was the first rookie to actually win a debut since 1999. Are you a fan of him? Like, are you? I feel like I am, because of just the experience and the knowledge that he can get from his father and the potential that I saw, the upside. That other game, I thought it was legit.
I thought that one play where he broke the pocket and made that long throw down the field showed his potential. He got snaps during practice, and he was going to be the starter. They announced him as the starter the week before, kind of thrown in there to the Wolves. He's a rookie. Rookies are going to, the NFL is they're going to throw different coverages at you. Coverages he hasn't seen at that level. So yeah, I do want to see him succeed. Deion Sanders was an amazing athlete. Gosh, he was amazing. And when they see his son or his offspring, they think right away, well, heck, he's Deion's son. Believe me, Deion Sanders is a once in a lifetime athlete, man. He was one of the fastest guys I ever saw in the baseball pass. Football, in fact, in meetings, he'd say, okay, y'all do your thing. I got my guy. He wouldn't even go in film coverage. I got my dude. You guys do your.
That's some AI stuff right there. Practice.
Yeah.
Practice. When you're just that gifted,
yes.
Is it just that you're just that gifted? Like Allen Iverson did not get on the track yet and run like my fat butt had to get in shape before the season, right? Just a freak of nature. Just go out there and just hoop.
Iverson also played quarterback in football, right?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, and threw several touchdowns.
Yes,
he was an amazing football player. Just a little slight of build. He didn't want to play at the next level because they would have killed him. But again, that was one of your teammates. And think about one of the great little men in the game, right? Along with Isaiah Thomas.
Oh yeah.
And the way didn't he lead the league in scoring?
Oh yeah.
And so
and MVP.
Oh my gosh!
I got to get him on. I text him. He actually responds sometimes.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get him on.
They had said he had fallen on some hard times. And
no, but he's good now. Let me tell you what he's doing now.
What's that?
He's the vice president. Him and Shaq are Shaq's president. Allen Iverson's vice president of Reebok.
Great. That's great to hear.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're listening, you got to check out this documentary on Prime. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a 3-part series, and it's about Allen Iverson. And it's about his whole everything from the bowling alley to almost getting locked up. He got locked up for like 3 months, got out. John Thompson gave him another chance, went to Georgetown. That's where it changed everything. You got to check it out.
I think it was
I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't. Governor Wilder of Virginia pardoned him. I believe. And there was I thought it was overboard what they tried to make him the scapegoat for that whole incident.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And so I'm glad he got out. And I still remember when y'all played them, and David Gibson actually did a good job in the first half. Yeah. And at the second half, he's Allen Iverson, man. And you can't say Gibby didn't play good D. David did as good as well as he could.
Speaking of that, in this on Prime in this series, we're in the video. The Lobos, we're in the video.
Oh man,
Gibby, yeah. There's some footage in there. There's some footage in there of me like playing with him on the Sixers those 3 years. It's pretty dope. I'm watching it. I'm like, whoa, that me? That's when I was thinner, obviously.
Oh man, but what memories then again? And him and Larry Brown were clash of egos there a lot, right?
Without a doubt. And you know who else I got that's coming? Kendrick Perkins already agreed to come on the show. Big Perk.
Oh man.
I hope you're here when he's there.
Yeah. No, I'd love to talk to him. That he's and carry on. He'll say, this is the way it is, and carry on as if in nobody else's opinion. matters after that. He's a funny guy.
It sounds like we're all over the place a little bit, but we're just going with the flow, and I really don't care. This is why it's called Unfiltered.
Hey, man, right?
But there's a lot of guys in the NBA that don't like him no more since he started working at ESPN. KD, there's a lot of guys that just like, I'm done.
Well, he's going to come down and say opinions. That's his job. What does Stephen A. Smith always say? And it's funny, now this is going off on another topic, to hear Stephen A. Smith they ask him about LeBron. I don't like the brother, man. And it would made me really laugh is when they got into it that time and LeBron accosted him. And, I would have swung. I definitely would have swung. I'm like, get out of here, man. And, LeBron's not going to hit anybody anyway. When have we ever seen him swing on anyone? But when I heard Stephen A. Smith say that if the brother would have swung, I would definitely would have hit him. Come on, man. LeBron is not going to hit anybody. That's a 6-figure settlement, but Stephen A. Smith is another guy that,
oh, yeah.
He's all over the place.
Hey, yeah. He got some words for me when I signed my big contract. Stephen A. Smith was with me in Philly.
Because he was a writer there. Wasn't he a writer?
Yeah, when he was just getting started.
Oh, man.
He said I got overpaid. That's cool, though.
Did he write it in the paper?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You still got it?
No, I don't need that. Why would I keep that in?
Oh, man, but still. Later you look back on it, you're like, hey, this, he wasn't nationally known.
It's still ingrained in here. Now the dude making 20-25 million a year on ESPN. Why, he just lost Molly.
Remember when?
Just saying.
Yeah. Always had a forked tongue even back then.
He's one of those dudes that just can't help himself.
You seen him when he said about Kwame Brown, back in the day.
Yeah.
A bona fide scrub. He can't play. He can't catch the ball. When my son showed me that, oh my God, I was like, wow.
I don't know if you know this, but Kwame Brown be roasting people now too.
I've been watching.
Oh, is that the stuff your son Nick has been showing you?
No, he showed me when Stephen A. Smith said that about Kwame Brown, and my son showed me that, and we laughed over, and I'm like, God, look at this guy. He can't play. He can't catch the ball. He's horrible. Doesn't have a post move he can put to memory. I still remember a lot of what he said. But no, Kwame is funny. That guy will roast who did he roast? Gilbert Arenas. And Gilbert Arenas came back on him hard. Gil came back on him hard, man.
Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, that dude is funny.
That's a whole nother world when it comes to social media, man. Like some of the things. Yeah, talk about social media, and we'll end with this before we go to the top of the hour. I just did an unbelievable skit with Johnny James that's coming, and you'll never guess which one I was. But it was a Batman and Robin skit. Which one you think I was?
I'm going to say you were Batman.
Yeah, because I'm big and black. That's so rude.
No.
That's so rude.
You asked.
I'm Robin.
Robin.
I'm Robin.
Oh, man. I got to see that.
Hey, big 6'8" Robin, bro. Yeah, Kaylina, you laugh. I see you turning red, Kaylina. I see you bouncing
Yeah,
up
I was
and down.
laughing because, everybody knows that Robin is like a short king.
That's the whole point.
It's good.
Robin's a big king now.
Robin, man. I got to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be dope, man. Yeah, just to throw that out there. We got, where we at right now? Because we only got two more Cowboys, man. What's up? 21-point deficit, came back. 21-24. Unbelievable, man. You guys are 5-5-1.
Thought they were done. I did.
Everybody thinks that every year when you guys don't win every game and you're a Cowboy fan, please pick up the phone and call or text your boy 505-246-0610. Even after this break, we can continue it. But come on, man. You Cowboy fans have moments regardless.
But I've been a fan since 70, man. So, yeah, but when you're down 21-0 and you're not scoring and they're going up and down the field like you're not even there, but all of a sudden the defense started stopping them on the last 8 drives. Philadelphia didn't score anything. And I got to tell you this about Hurts. I like him. I hate Philadelphia, but you can't hate Jalen Hurts. He's a good dude. But they say sometimes that maybe he's not that quarterback. They were scoring at will. No. There's people that have said that A.J. Brown was mad at him because he wasn't getting enough touches. He got 2 touchdown passes in the first half, not many touches in the second. But
I think the part you're missing is that AJ wasn't getting the ball in the beginning of the season. Trust me, he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, he went to work on Sunday.
Let's continue this Cowboy-Eagles situation. And if you're listening, keep listening. We can chop it up about the Cowboys. And if you want to chime in, you can. We'll be right back. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas and my boy Ed Nunez on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 6 in the Sports Animal. I got my guy Ed Nunez in here with me. He's going to be start coming in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I appreciate you, Ed. What's up, man?
You know, Kenny, I think, since I retired from the city in 2019, it's been one sports adventure after another. And I'm lucky that, I'm the voice at Western New Mexico. And I'm not, this isn't just a brag. These are just things that sports is a passion of life. But I'm also lucky that my lovely wife indulges most of my, and then I told you, my son is going to host Kenny Thomas Live with you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But it's getting to the point now where if me and Nick are in the same room, my wife's like, okay, you guys split up because this is family time. We need to talk about family stuff. And Nick and I are always talking about the next game. Who'd you interview? How'd that go? And, so we have to be conscious of, my granddaughter, my daughter-in-law, my wife. We have to understand and put the brakes on that sometimes. But I'll tell you one thing, and being here as a co-host with you on Tuesday and Thursday has been, I didn't even plan on this a couple months ago. Just, Tuesdays and Thursdays were kind of chill days. We don't pick up my granddaughter. So being able to come in and co-host with you on these days has been a lot of fun.
Hey, I appreciate that. Is this Ned? Somebody else? Just kidding. It's the same number, so I'm assuming it might be Ed. Whenever you come on, it's somebody that's always texting or somebody want to pick up the phone and call in. But I got a text right here, and it's about the Eagles, Cowboys. The Eagles gift wrapped that win for the Cowboys. Worst second half performance the Eagles have had in years. KC's coming in hungry. Should be a good game. Happy Thanksgiving, KT. I was going to bring that up because I was going to bring it up after we got into like George Pickens and he's having a career year right now and you guys are going to have to pay him. Where's it going to come from when the standpoint of Jerry Jones once again has to pay another player? And if you guys let George Pickens go, it got to be insane what's happening with that organization, because how do you build and expect to win? And you guys are always going through the same thing, always doubt until a certain extent. Now you guys are happy again because they're at least at 500, even though they got the tie with the Packers, right?
Which hurt them.
Interesting.
The record overall hurt them.
But the fact that you got Kansas City coming in here to where Patrick Mahomes just beat the Colts in overtime, 23-20, and you had Mahomes that had 352 yards passing, he's going to come in here and ball out. He's going to go there and ball out. And the fact, is it in Dallas or is it in Kansas City?
It's in Dallas.
Ooh. Okay, so you might have a fighting chance there.
You know what? That guy plays, he could be almost sacked and he'll just flip it out. Yards after the catch. They've got Rice. They've got Kelsey. They've got a good running game. They're desperate. They almost lost to Indianapolis on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So, but Dallas has Kansas City. They've got Detroit. They've got a tough schedule here. They've kind of made themselves a little bit of a hole. They almost have to win. There's some tough games. They got Minnesota left. Yeah. They've got the Chargers. They've got the
Washington
Giants and the Commanders. They should be able to beat them. But there's no guarantees it's any given Sunday.
It's crazy how you remember those games.
Well, I looked at the schedule. I'm like, okay, what's the chances? As a Cowboy fan, you're always looking at that. But I got to say, you mentioned George Pickens. And, they got him from Pittsburgh last year. And dude had been a question there in Pittsburgh, but not in Dallas.
The mailman.
Keep going.
Yeah. So, and I've watched the Cowboys since 1970. This guy's got speed. He's athletic. You see the catch he made on Sunday? He reminds me of Dez Bryant, maybe a little faster. He got it. He went up and got it. I don't know how you let this guy get away, man. You're gonna have to find a bag to keep him, and it's gonna take a substantial bag.
And I'll just throw it out there: the way that CeeDee Lamb has been dropping the ball. Come on, man.
You can't drop that, man.
Come on.
You got to catch the ball.
You get paid to catch. You get paid a lot of money to catch balls.
Yeah.
And some of the balls, come on, man. He was catching those in his sleep one-handed before he got paid. I hate to say this, but guys have a tendency to fall off sometimes when they get paid. What about that? Because everybody's a little down. Everybody down on CeeDee Lamb a little bit right now? Or is it just me?
You know what? Against Philadelphia opening night, he dropped 4. And Sunday, he dropped 3. And you know what? When you play for Dallas, man, they're going to come at you. And he's got to make those catches. That's the bottom line. You got the other receiver. And there's now people are saying George Pickens is the number 1 receiver and CD is number 2. I'd still like to have that problem either way. I think CD's still a great receiver.
You got to share that thing.
But you got to catch the ball.
Yeah.
That's your job,
especially
man.
when it's hitting you right there.
Yeah, I think, and to Dak Prescott, who I watched Roger Staubach was my favorite Cowboy of all time. I think Dak Prescott is a tremendous person. I really do. But you're judged in Dallas by if you win a championship or not. That's the bottom line. He's got all these records. He's the all-time passing leader. And the question is, how many playoff games have you won? 2.
Yeah.
That's what he's judged on.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Right.
And I don't have no titles. Let's get to this phone line. The mailman, what's up?
What's happening, KT? Man, I've been listening every day since you came on where the stream doesn't mess up. But I be out here delivering mail, man. I need you. I know the family. I know your family. So we'll meet up and we'll talk one day. But
talk to me.
I need you to pray for my Steelers, man.
What? Why? What's
I need you
up?
to pray for us, man.
For who? Pray for who?
The Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers.
Man.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
It's bad enough that George Pickens did it the way he wanted to do it. But then to see him go to Dallas, and now he's a model citizen, and we sure could have used him this year
Oh, yeah.
on the other side of DK Metcalf. But still, I mean, man, we dropped the ball trying to find a quarterback. I don't know why on earth they didn't go get Shador, being that he kept dropping. I don't care what Aaron says. I wanted Aaron, but they could have told Aaron, look, we're going to bring Shador in. All we want him to do is learn from you as long as you're here.
Yeah.
And then let him ride the pine. He could have been learning, and being that Aaron is hurt, yeah, he could play now. But we don't have a quarterback. We're hurting at wide receiver. The defense, who knows what's going on there? And we've never had issues with our defense. But now the defense can't stop water, and I don't get it. We're hurting. They're saying fire Tomlin. I don't want him to go, but man, he has got to get this shit turned around.
He ain't going nowhere.
Way too long.
He ain't going nowhere.
I don't want him to go nowhere, but it's been way too long. We've been mediocre. We have got to turn this ship around.
That's fair, because you guys have gone through quite a few quarterbacks over the last couple of years, and then you get Aaron Rodgers. But, hey, he don't got to have surgery. Hopefully he's only out one game.
And we should have won that game Sunday, but then, like I said, the defense can't stop nobody, and they walked down there and got that field goal, and it's hurting my feelings right now. My feelings are hurt.
You feel like Ed right now, but Ed's on top of the world because his Cowboys just won against the Eagles. Big win.
Ed, I just hope that you don't find out what we found out. And if Dallas don't pay him or do him the way he want to do, he going to show up just like he did in Pittsburgh. And you better hope you don't see that side of him.
I'll tell you right now, mailman, that right now he's balling out. He wants the money. He wants the bag. Now, he could, I saw a couple of things he did in Pittsburgh. But I'll tell you, like I was telling Kenny, I've been a fan of the Cowboys since 1970. Saw Drew Pearson, Tony Hill, Des Bryant, Michael Irvin, who was my favorite receiver of all time. I'm telling you, Pickens is long, rangy, athletic. He can do it all, man.
Yeah,
now, the things you talked about, we haven't seen in Dallas yet. It certainly could rear its ugly head again. But right now, this man is playing some great football for the Cowboys.
You got anything else for us, man? Go ahead.
Maybe it was the Luka Doncic thing. He thought he got into the league and he could do what he wanted. And then when they traded him, maybe he woke up. I don't know, but we need some help. Pray for my Steelers, y'all. We need some help.
Appreciate you, man, for calling in, the mailman. That's pretty dope, man. That's cool. The mailman. He said when the streaming is working, he's listening. But obviously his feelings are hurt because George Pickens left Pittsburgh and he's balling in Dallas right now, which I know my boy Ed is happy. We're going to take this quick break real quick. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 6 Sports Animal, your home for the NFL. We're going to jump into some NBA. Yeah, I know you're surprised. You're wondering, why is he not talking about the NBA? I talk about a little bit of everything. There's a variety of stuff, and I got my guy, Ed Nunez, is with the Pit Press, and he does stuff up at Northern and all kinds of other things. What don't you do, Ed? But I know you know your basketball, man. Luka, let's talk about the Lakers real quick. Luka obviously is the guy. 37 points last game. LeBron made his debut, had a double-double, 11 points, 12 assists. You got Austin Reeves over there, man. People are thinking LeBron is going, they still want him to be that guy. I think he's at least second place after Luka, because that's Luka's team, 27 years old, 26, 27 years old. And you got Austin Reeves that's making some significant amount of money, man, that's playing some really good basketball. LeBron James is going to have to take a back seat, don't you think?
We talked about this last week. They played Utah on Sunday, and I was watching on the NBA channel. I have the Lakers NBA channel league pass, and they almost blew it. That Markkanen kid from Utah.
Oh, yeah. I like
that
him.
Dude.
Long.
He singled. Lakers were up by 10, and he single-handedly, just like that, it was tied. And Utah had a shot at the end of the game, and they missed to tie it. But LeBron, when he was on the floor, plus minus was minus 14, and a lot of people were, went in deep. He's going to have to take a back seat. They're not very good with him on the floor. I saw him make some plays, but it wasn't just him. Let's face it, he's not a good defender anymore at 41. But Luka's not the best defender, and neither is Reeves
at all.
Yeah, so they talked about Jared Vanderbilt being that defender, but he can't score.
Yeah,
they can't shoot. So I still think they're going to have to look. We said this last week. They're not anywhere close to Oklahoma City. They're not. Oklahoma City's leaps and bounds better. So they're going to have to figure out that they need a 3-and-D guy. They had talked about Wiggins, and maybe they'll make a trade for him. But even with him, that's still not enough to beat Oklahoma City, in my opinion.
They got the big fella in the middle, the long kid that didn't play in the playoffs last year. I don't know why, JJ. I can't think of his name, but he's long and athletic.
Hayes.
Yeah, I like him.
DeAndre Ayton,
role player,
hurt his knee on
Shocker.
Sunday. Yeah, he was playing well too.
He's so fragile.
Yeah, no, we don't have. They don't know how long he's going to be out. They signed Drew Timmy to a 2-way contract. He might see the floor tonight. They play the Clippers. So I still think with LeBron, okay, this one guy yesterday said, hey, he opted in. Nobody else wanted him. He's this guy went nuts on LeBron, and I was just like, okay, I may not be his biggest fan, but let's be serious here. So at the next year, is it for him? He's 41. Does he come back next year and at 42?
I still like he's still playing at a high level, man.
No, I do too. But he's not, he's not what he used to be, obviously. But I still think, they're 12-4, 13 and 4.
Oh yeah, they're 12-4 right now, which I was about to bring up. They're third in the West. You got OKC that's 17-1, that's making history. I mean, the path that they're on the same path as that 2015-2016 Warriors team that went on that run and actually 70-something games to where they were trying to catch the Bulls.
Bulls won 72. I thought the Warriors won 73, but they didn't win the championship that year. They did not win the championship.
But then the way OKC's coming out and balling right now, it's kind of dumb because of the way that they're playing together. It just seems like the chemistry's gelling. Obviously, I wasn't a believer to a certain extent because there's so many different things that have to fall into play to get back into the same situation of being in the being in the NBA finals, right? Because the way SGA is playing, he's not even playing in the fourth quarter, you guys, to where he's dominating games and his team is dominating games and they're closing out people early. I feel like teams are just fearing them right away because when you don't have, what's his name? Williams. What's his first name? Jalen Williams. That's been out and he's still out. Do you feel like this team, and if you're listening right now, if you want to chime in, do you feel like this Thunder team can sustain what they're doing right now? One, to be on the path for that Warriors opportunity to be able to get up there in the 70s, or to just come out and keep on winning, especially in the Western Conference, Ed?
I feel like they can. They've got, interchangeable parts. They're long, they're lanky, they play defense. And I told you, Chad Holmgren to me is the guy I wanted to see. He sat out his first year with an injury, and I thought he came back his second year a little bit more. You couldn't ask him to set a screen last year. He couldn't do that. He wasn't strong enough, but I think he's gotten stronger. You can throw him a lob at the rim. He could shoot a little bit. Hartenstein's that guy that's going to set those bone-rattling picks, roll to the basket. They've got shooters. They've got defenders. They're going to be very tough to beat, very tough. So we went back to Golden State. They won 73 games in the 2015-16 season, setting the NBA record for the most wins in a single regular season. They didn't win the championship that year.
No.
So anyway,
and Jordan did, right?
Did the
Bulls win?
15 and 16 season, was that Cleveland? I think Cleveland won that year with LeBron. 2015, I think so.
You're probably right. No,
yeah.
You. But then, I mean, we're talking about the Thunder, but look at Jokic, what he's doing with the Nuggets, man. He just had another triple-double. He had like 17, 16, and like 12. 17 points only.
I love the way that guy plays.
Oh.
And again, we mentioned
like poetry.
The guy, you can't dislodge him because he's 7'1". What is he, 270, 260?
Easy.
So, you talk about riding people out of the post. Good luck with that. He's entrenched there. He's going to hit that high release. You're going to get a handout. He's still going to make it.
Yeah,
and his passing is unbelievable. Yeah. I love that guy.
His release is behind his head a little bit.
I saw Anthony Davis try to contest, and he still dropped it, man. Yeah. So the guy's a great player, unselfish, not the greatest defender. He's not going to protect a lot at the rim, but good enough. So I think he's playing at a very high level right now. As you mentioned, Luka Doncic leads the NBA in scoring, and some of the shots the guy makes are just fadeaways, one-legged stuff off the runners off the glass. He's an amazing scorer.
They're second right now.
The
Nuggets. The Nuggets are 13-4.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But keep it. I'm gonna shift it to the East Coast right now. Them Raptors and Brandon Ingram. Man, I feel like they've been playing some really good ball right now. How do you feel about the Toronto Raptors, especially where they're at right now? Right now, they're second
with 13-5.
How do you remember this? You're like a walking.
I just looked at them this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at
I'm giving you more credit than you deserve, huh?
You know what? I've always had if you can ask.
I got him to smile, you guys. He never smiles.
Royce Olney, number 30. Kenny Thomas, number 4. Clayton, number 22. I remember Gibson, number 32.
Wow.
I remember there was a photo. It's a
Charles Smith,
a 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So I remember all Marvin Johnson's number 21, Cooper 22. I remember all those guys, man. Phil Smith, number 12. Greg Brown, number 12. All those guys. You remember all the great ones.
Go ahead, bud.
But Toronto. They showed Ingram the other night going in, and when he came out and played for the Lakers, everybody's like, hey, he needs to put some weight on. And he was kind of – he's a wiry, strong guy. He's never going to be a muscle-bound guy. But, man, he's long.
He's a guard,
mid-range shooter.
He's a guard.
Yes.
That's okay.
Right.
That's okay. Wemby needs to put some weight on. He can't be a Brandon Ingram his whole career.
He's got a calf injury now and is going to be out for a couple weeks. And, there's concern about his height. They say guys that – Yao Ming got hurt a lot. You played a little bit with him, so guys that size sometimes are susceptible to a lot of injuries. So hopefully Wemby looks like he's in shape, but he's gotten hurt. Deep thrombosis last year that cost him half the season, and now a pulled calf. But we saw what he did against Draymond the other night.
Oh my goodness!
Boy, he just stood there with one left-handed and jammed it in, and Draymond's trying to intimidate and give him the.
Speaking of Draymond, I'm gonna see if I can come back with the video because him and Kenyon Martin, I don't know if you've seen this, have been going back and forth. They've been going back and forth. I'm gonna see about playing that clip, but I got to give a shout out to the Detroit Pistons, man.
13 straight.
Wow.
Set a franchise record.
JB Bickerstaff.
The son of Bernie Bickerstaff, who coached the Bullets and the Sonics,
and I played with JB AAU. He came to Albuquerque, played on our New Mexico flight.
Oh man, I remember that team.
I remember that. Talk about somebody bony and that could fly.
AJ Bramlett,
Michael Ruffin.
Dang, where did he play?
He played at Tulsa.
Yes,
played in the NBA.
He was good.
I think he's behind a bench now coaching.
Man, that was a tough team.
I never wanted to coach, man, but we're going to take this quick break.
Yeah.
We only got 30 more minutes, you guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuning in. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. I got my guy Ed in here with me. He will be in here Tuesdays and Thursdays. Ed Nunez with the Pit Press. Yo, is there any more news we need to know from that press conference just off the top of your head today? Was that just football or was it basketball too?
No, it was
I wasn't able to go.
Football today. So
you got anything else you think you want to share from that perspective before we get into Diego Pavio?
He mentioned Coach Beck was talking about San Diego State. They're big, they're fast, they're physical. Said one of their offensive linemen is 6'9", 335 pounds. It's going to be a test for the Lobos. Aztecs, coached by Sean Lewis. And I got to tell you this, it's been many years since 2016, since New Mexico has played a meaningful November football game. So I'm very excited about it.
I'm laughing. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's the truth.
No, this is the truth. It's been that long. And so I think, again, we mentioned Coach Eck and what kind of person he is. He's personable. He's in the community. He wants to be here, I think. Again, look, and this is for any Lobo fan, this is just reality. When you turn around a program like New Mexico that hasn't been to a bowl game in 10 years and you're bowl eligible, and, people are going to say, hey, a program that needs a coach is going to say, hey, man, what about that? They're going to look at him. That's just the way it is. Hopefully he stays. But I'm looking, like you said, we can't worry about what's on the other side. I'm looking forward to Friday afternoon. My whole family's going. My wife, my son, my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter, and my brother-in-law. We're all going out.
Everybody.
Yeah, you know what? To be fans. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to sit in the press box. Nothing against that. But it's more fun when I can high five with my son or, say, hey, great play. And, I told you you're constricted in the press box, and I can understand that. You're like this, okay, my son has to settle for me giving him an elbow on press row when they do something good.
You won't find me up in there.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Yeah. So, I think that's one of the things that a lot of questions today. Sean Ryder asked a lot of questions from the Journal. Jeff Grammer asked some questions. Greg Archuleta. So a lot of questions for Coach Eck today.
That's cool. I mean, obviously, if you're listening, we came out. I say we because I'm a part of this community. We came out for the Aggies. That's a given. Coach Eck asked for Colorado State sellout. What do we get, 25, 30?
27.
Now he's asking for an opportunity for this squad that's going up against a San Diego team that's playing some pretty good ball right now, that's number one in the Mountain West Conference, coming into our house, and we can't get out there and sell out 37,000 seats. And this community's been thirsty for a football program. That's where they are. That's kind of embarrassing if it's not sold out this weekend. And if you have an opinion about that, you can call 505-246-0610 or text me. And if you disagree, shame on you, but you shouldn't disagree. I mean, come on, man. It's one of those things that just has to happen.
I asked Ned James today. We were at the press conference, and Ned is the color commentator with JJ Buck on 770 KKOB for the football games. I said, what do you think, man? And Ned is somebody I respect because he knows football's been around here a long time. He said a lot of the students may have gone home. I said, okay, what do you think? 26-28, nodded his head. I hope they get 30. It's not just the students, it's the community.
Students. Man. We got too many people here.
Right. It's a Friday. It's going to be 60 degrees. I checked the weather. Look, Coach Eck, what bugged me a little bit, he's almost begging to get 25 for Colorado State. Shouldn't have to, man. It was gross. 70 degrees that day.
That's stupid.
70 degrees. They wanted a winner. Buddy Ryan used to say, he said this, Buddy Ryan back in the day when he's at Arizona, you got a winner in town. Well, you got a winner in town here with Coach Eck, man. And you know what? You want to keep him. I'd like him to be here for 5 years now. In reality, will he be? I don't know. But, we got to enjoy the moment. He's brought a winning football program, a winning formula to the Lobo football program. And the game on Saturday against Air Force, who they hadn't beat in 25 years at Falcon Stadium. They've struggled with that triple option since I can remember. They set the edge in the first half. Yep. And again, the Air Force was missing their main quarterback. They had to go to a fullback playing quarterback. But I thought New Mexico, again, set the edge, did well with the pitch, did well with the dive, and limited Air Force. They were behind the chains all first half. And New Mexico taking advantage of a couple short fields and scoring and leading at the half 17-0 and finishing strong. And that's what they've done all season long.
Well, The effort's there. I think it's there on both ends. I like Jake Lane. The way he's been balling, man. He's been playing some really good ball. But the backfield for the Lobos, I'm going to expect them to show up a little bit more. You got Bankston and you got McKinney, right? To where they've been playing some really good ball. I think they even go deeper with the third. I can't think of who that third one is.
Humphrey, but he hasn't seen many carries lately. He
Because
fumbled.
of Baxton and that fumble. Yep,
Yeah,
I was just about to say that.
And remember, they signed him last year. This was going to be their bell cow.
Yeah.
When they signed him, I'm like, how in the heck did they get that dude to come here?
Bell cow.
They're the guy that
The runner.
that's your
the
guy.
beast. The beast.
Yeah, that's your
he
guy.
runs hard.
So, and you know what though, Banks and McKinney have played very well. Dorian Thomas, the tight end, Keegan Johnson, the wide receiver. You mentioned something funny about Lane, right? Now, there's been games he's had really good games, and then some games he's been okay. He's threw for 105 yards on Saturday. Not great, but he made the plays when he needed to. He's a winner.
Exactly.
He's a leader.
He's a winner.
The other thing that Ned James told me was very interesting, that when the offensive linemen have to run and they've done something wrong, he runs with them. When the wide receivers do something wrong, he runs. That's a leader. That's a leader. Those dudes are going to say, you know what? This dude has our back. We're going to make sure we block for him. That's our guy.
Well, it starts with the coach.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
then it trickles down to the assistants. And then it goes to him. It just does.
Right.
It just does. It's like when you're on an NBA team. You got, I'm playing with Allen Iverson, and it's me, Keith Van Horn, Derek Coleman, Eric Snow, maybe Aaron McKee.
30 seconds.
But it comes down to Allen Iverson. Period. He's the leader. We feed off of him. We ran off of his motorboat. He did what he did, and what do? We follow suit. If you don't follow suit, you're coming out of the game. So I feel like that same principle is actually going down with this team right now, don't you think?
No, absolutely. You made a good point there about Iverson. You did.
We're going to take our last break. You've been listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 the Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 the Sports Animal. Chopping it up with my guy Ed Nunez today. Just to let you guys know if you've been listening, and if you haven't, Ed will be coming in on Tuesdays and Thursdays with me going forward. I'm excited about that. He's a walking encyclopedia. But Ed, I was just chopping it up with Ed. We're going to end this with this and a little bit more, a couple of announcements. But Ed, you know how many coaches I had in 11 years?
You said 10, right?
I had 10 coaches in 11 years. Let's start running these off real quick. I don't know if you knew this about me. Houston, Philly, Sacramento, 11 years. From 1999 to 2010, my last year under contract. I didn't have a press release acknowledging that I was able to retire. I didn't have that type of status. But let's go through these, Ed. Rudy Tomjanovich in Houston. Now we're going to skip to Philadelphia. Larry Brown, Randy Ayers, Chris Ford, who coached in Boston, Jim O'Brien, who actually came to Albuquerque for my golf tournament. That was a nightmare. And then things kind of shifted a little bit when I ended up in Sacramento. I had Rick Alderman, amazing. I had Eric Musselman, unbelievable joke. Kenny Nat, who was in Utah under Jerry Sloan. Remember him?
I do.
Bald-head dude with glasses, amazing dude. Then I had Reggie Theus, joke. Then I had the late Paul Westphal, my last year, 2009, 2010.
And a lot of those dudes,
unbelievable.
You mentioned, Rick Adelman coached the Portland Trailblazers. I remember every one of them guys. Reggie Theus, Rush Street Reggie, back with the Chicago Bulls.
Oh man,
coached New Mexico State. And here's the funny.
Yeah, he was there.
What's that?
Yeah, he was at State for a while.
Yes. Reggie, the GQ looks, right? The green eyes.
Trust me, I saw.
Oh man, Rush Street Reggie. So I got to ask you this: Paul Westphal, back in the day. Heck of a guard with the Sonics and the Suns, coached Phoenix when they went to the championship and lost to the Bulls, was the head coach then. Coach Barkley and Marley and KJ, Mark West.
Yeah.
That was, hey man.
Dumars.
Yes, that was a heck of a team. That's when this is funny. So in that series there, Jerry Krause, the Bulls general manager, had made this big deal about Dan Marley being able to, thunder Dan. Maybe he could stop Jordan. And Jordan, he took him to town, right? And they said after the game that Jordan, when they won the championship, slammed the ball down and said, "Thunder Dan, my whatever it was.
You could say ass.
You're right. Yeah.
I'll say it for you.
Yeah. My wife might be listening, man. She'll she'll let me know, man. Honey, did you really say that? So, anyway, yeah, some of those coaches, I have to ask you this. Who was the best of them?
Well, they were all different in different moments, right? Rudy Tomjanovich. Think about it. I had Katino Mobley, Steve Francis, who's actually been on the show. You can go check the latest shows if you missed it on every streaming podcast platform, Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. If you want to go check it and you missed it today, you can always go back and listen. He was unbelievable. We were ISOing, and it was just fun. Larry Brown, who I still talk to this day, it's just a book of knowledge, man. You know what I mean? Like, then Randy Ayers, we can skip that one. Chris Ford was just amazing because he came from that Boston culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm not taking any crap. I don't care who you are. Let's come out here and do our jobs, and we're going to figure it out, right? And then you have Jim O'Brien. He was a plus minus dude. I'm on the floor with Allen Iverson, right? Like, I'm already screwed because of all the gambling and different things that he took, because he was just that dude, right? That right there can determine the plus and minus situation just based off how the game is going. And then Rick Alderman, I just love him. Eric Musselman, another joke. Kenny Nat, great dude, man. Reggie Theus, yeah, nope, I'm good. Paul Westphal, I was happy because I was able to go out with him. Because just the culture, you were talking about the things that he was doing in Phoenix with Charles and Dan Marley and Point Kevin, Kevin Johnson. It was just a breath of fresh air coming off, thinking that I was going to get an opportunity to probably get a third contract based off of him. And he took me into Phoenix one game in the beginning of the season, and I really wasn't playing. And I wasn't like playing like I was supposed to be playing. I went in against Amari Stoudemire and had like I swear to God, to this day, you can look it up. I had like 15 boards and like 2 points. I said, I'm not going to score. Who cares? I'm going to show him I'm going to play defense and I'm going to rebound and I'm going to run up the floor and I'm going to play the right way. Never saw the floor again.
Really?
They blackballed me after that. You think that they would have played me and like tried to showcase me, get me off of that big lump sum I was making my last year. But no, they just sat back. They just sat me. They just blackballed me. The Maloofs.
From Albuquerque.
Yeah, the Maloofs.
Joe and Gavin and yeah.
And I was close with them, man. And I called them and I begged and they wanted me to give some money back. I'm like, I'm not giving no money back.
Yeah.
They're going to buy me out. No, go away. I told them just like that. No, go away.
See, those are the backstories that in the NBA that a lot of people don't know. But you mentioned, gosh, a lot of those coaches, man. I still remember when Westphal, like I told you, was a very solid player. Some Kenny Nat, I believe, played here with the Albuquerque Silvers of the Continental Basketball Association at the old Civic Auditorium.
Wow.
His brother Calvin played for Portland. I remember Calvin Nat. So you went through I got to ask you, what about Rudy T, man? What'd you learn from him?
Loved him. I just loved him. I had Charles Barkley and Hakeem Olajuwon for like a quick stint I had Charles for maybe 20 games or so, if not a little bit more. Then he tore up his knee and he was gone. But I had Hakeem Olajuwon. He taught me so much, man. And then I wasn't playing my first 45 games. After that, I started. Then I was a starter for like a good 8 years. I was on the ballot for half of that, if not like 6-7 years or something like that. But out of the 11, it was an unbelievable experience, man. When I first got traded, I was at home getting ready for a game, man. I got the phone call. Rudy Tomjanovich called and said, man, Kenny, I hate to be the one to call and tell you this, but you just got traded. Oh, my God, I almost died. First time I ever got traded. I didn't think I was ever going to leave Houston. It was my first house I just bought, too, in Houston.
That was to Philadelphia, right, when you got traded?
Yes, and I got traded right before Christmas, and I was living out of a suitcase in a hotel for like 3 months.
In Philadelphia?
Yep.
Man.
It was unbelievable. People don't realize this. You got to report in 48 hours, man. And
no
take
matter
a physical.
What, you got to get there. Yeah.
If you don't take the physical, the contract could be null and voided, right? Like if you don't pass the physical, null and void. Now think about this. Imagine getting traded and having to go back to your team that just didn't want you. Thank God that never happened to me. But when I was in Philly and got traded to Sacramento, Sacramento was coming to Philly. A day or 2 days later, I flipped jerseys and played in Philly and had a double-double and left Philly.
Wow. Yeah.
And they had Chris Webber. It was the trade with me and Chris Webber.
Chris Webber did that trade.
Yep. Chris Webber left SAC with the Philly, and me and Corliss Williamson and Brian Skinner went to SAC.
Big nasty. Corliss
Oh,
Williamson.
yeah. We were still good, too. We were still balling.
Yeah, look, the players you mentioned, unbelievable. The people and the coaches that you mentioned. Chris Ford, I think, actually hit the first 3-point shot in NBA history, if I'm right.
Oh, wow.
Like Chris Ford, number 42 for Boston. I remember him. Not great, but a solid cog, right? He's going to make this. I remember him and all those guys. Adelman, I remember all those guys. And you played for quite a variety of head coaches, man. You really did.
Oh, my goodness. It don't even seem real, man.
Who made you work the hardest?
Larry Brown.
As far as physical work, like running and,
just mentally, just from the standpoint of knowing the game and playing the right way. Why do you think I stress so much about a mid-range game, especially when they're giving it to you? Came from him. He told me to stop getting into the paint and spinning. He said, Kenny, just jump and shoot the ball. I was like, Coach, they're going to block my shot. I'm shorter. He's like, no, they're not. How are they going to know when you're going to stop?
Basic, simple concept.
It's simple. And then I started doing it, boop, 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 and I just kept doing it.
Who was the biggest film breakdown guy?
Eric Snow in Philly. He was a general. He played at Michigan State.
I remember him.
Yeah, he was a general.
Number 20. I remember him.
Oh,
really well.
yeah. He put everybody in place. So say you forgot to play it, you didn't know what was going on, he'd be like, hey, you'd be like, point over there. Yeah.
He knew.
Oh, yeah, he knew. Talk about somebody. He's a David Gibson. But they both were the same caliber player, to be honest. That's
Gibson's
the nice thing
such
about
a
it.
Good guy, man.
Yo, couple announcements real quick. I got the Toys for Tots with the Cops, and it's actually at Main Event. It's coming up December 7th. It's going to be my second one. Come over there and check it out. December 7th, Main Event. It's open to the public. It's for the kids. My guy Zach at Capital Ford. You can go to Capital Ford Facebook and apply for $5,000 before this Friday at the end of Black Friday to receive $5,000. He's making his decisions this coming Friday and everything closes. So if you want to get in on that, tomorrow I will be over on KKOB for Lobos Live after the men's basketball game, about 40, 45 minutes after that. If they win, you want to tune in next Monday because I'll be giving away free prizes from Capital Ford valued at $189. So you want to tune in for that after every win for men and women. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate you coming in, bud.
Always, bro.
Thank you, Kaylina.
I'm here for you.
We didn't have any calls, but hey, they're listening. The mailman, thank you, man. If you're still listening, I appreciate the support. Thank you guys for listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.